Have you ever tried to send encrypted data between a PHP server and a Java client, only to hit a wall? It can be incredibly frustrating when things don't work as expected. If you're facing issues with encryption, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to troubleshoot this together. I totally understand how annoying it is when your code works perfectly in isolation, but then fails when you try to connect two different systems. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar challenges when dealing with encryption. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. A user asked, "I was looking to encrypt data between a PHP server and a Java client. Individually, the code works fine, but I get an error when trying to decode the PHP encrypted string." Sound familiar? Let's dive into this and find a solution. So, what could be going wrong here? The issue often lies in mismatched parameters between the PHP and Java implementations, such as the initialization vector or the encryption method. We'll break it down step by step to identify the problem. And stick around. I have a crucial tip at the end that will help you avoid these issues in the future. To begin resolving the issue, the user should ensure that both the PHP and Java implementations are using the same encryption parameters. This includes the same key and initialization vector. Next, the user should check the encryption and decryption modes being used. In PHP, the user is using AES and CBC mode, which is correct. However, the Java code must also match this configuration. Now, the user should confirm that the data being encrypted in PHP is properly formatted before sending it to Java. The PHP codebase 64 encodes the data before encryption, which should be mirrored in the Java code. Finally, the user should handle the decryption process correctly in Java. The Java code must decode the base 64 string before decrypting it, ensuring that the input length is valid. Fun fact, the first encryption methods were so simple that they could be cracked by hand. Thankfully, we've come a long way since then, but even modern encryption can have its quirks. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach shared by a user involves using a different encryption method in Java and PHP. In their Java code, they utilize AES encryption with a specific key and initialization vector. They define a class called Dark Knight, which handles both encryption and decryption. The encrypted data is then encoded in base 64 format. In the PHP part, the user employs the Encrypt library to perform encryption and decryption using the same key. They ensure that the text is padded correctly before encryption and unpadded after decryption. This method successfully encrypts and decrypts the same data, demonstrating compatibility between PHP and Java. That's the end of that answer. Let's see another perspective. An alternative solution was provided by a user who faced issues with PHP 7.2 due to the deprecation of crypt. They modified the encryption method to use AES in ECB mode. Their approach includes two functions, one for encryption and another for decryption, both utilizing OpenSSL. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. An alternative solution suggests using Android's base 64 library in Java instead of the Apache XML base 64. This change is necessary for compatibility with Java 8. The user provides a complete Java code example that includes encryption and decryption methods, utilizing AES encryption with a specified key and initialization vector. In addition, the user provides a PHP code snippet that matches the Java implementation. The PHP code uses OpenSSL for encryption and decryption, ensuring the same key is applied. This approach maintains compatibility between PHP and Java for secure data transmission. Here's the tip I promised. Always keep your encryption parameters consistent across different platforms. This simple practice can save you a lot of headaches. And there you have it. By ensuring your initialization vector, encryption method, and data format are consistent, you should be able to resolve your encryption issues. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips, and don't forget to check out our next video for more encryption insights.